Well, this is Hockey 85, continuing coverage of the 1985 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. To Hill Murray and Burnsville. Mark Johnson, number 10 for the Hill Murray Pioneers, is a junior wing. Now, this is his second tournament, Tom, and he scores the first goal coming up here, and he told us earlier today he's been in 2 tournaments now. He just can't buy a goal. Well, it took him 26 seconds to get one here. First of the tournament, rebound shot there. They had claimed the man was in the crease, but he was pushed there. So it's 1-0, just that quick for Hill Murray. Johnson, 6 tournaments in a row. He and Rollick have been in now. Pewees, Bantams in high school. Now Burnsville.
Took Burnsville a little while to recoup, but they did. Herm Finnegan, an outstanding solo job here. Maneuvers his way through the Pioneer defense and fires past Rick Horvat. Look at it one more time. Finnegan on that Ramswick-Burrell line. They've played together for 8 or 9 years. An excellent line.
Going to get one more look at it here, Tom. Wait a minute. This is the steal. This is Hill Murray. 13-13. Kind of proved lucky for Phil Zelenik there. Just a gift he got, though, really. Number 20 for Hill Murray scoring. As 13-13 was the time of the goal. Made it 2-1. There's the equalizer.
That's right. Scott Bloom, the 2-2 goal, using Steve Ferreira as a decoy. And after one period, we are tied at 2. The saves in the first period, Hill Murray's Rick Horvath, 8. And Kevin Gorth of Burnsville had 10.
So Hill Murray out shooting Burnsville 12-10. This is Hockey 85, continuing
culture. And although we call hockey a game, it's a serious sport no matter what your age.
The crowd began to gather early. Tickets were scarce and expectations high for what many felt would be one of the greatest hockey games ever played. The tension in the Kennedy locker room was overbearing. These grizzled veterans were well aware of the challenge they faced. Head coach Bob Strand offered some final words of advice.
Everybody skate hard. This is our last game today. And let's do it for Westwood, okay? And do it for yourself.
Their strategy intact, the young warriors took to the battlefield prepared for combat, some more prepared than others. Moments before the opening face-off, Coach Strand discovers an unexpected problem.
I need a puck. Throw some pucks out real quick. Okay, are you ready?
Once solved, the battle is ready to begin. From the outset, the pace of the contest is at a fever pitch. Up and down the ice they flew, these finely tuned athletes, sending this crowd into a frenzy. It is a physical battle, and yet there is a sense of poetry to the movement of these young thoroughbreds. For 2.5 periods, Kennedy and Cannon Falls have stretched their hearts and souls to the limit, and yet the game remained deadlocked at 1 goal apiece. With 4 minutes to play, Kennedy forward Eric Strand would untie that knot with a shot heard round the world. The pressure would now intensify. Desperate for a goal, Cannon Falls picked up its attack, placing the outcome of this battle squarely on the shoulders of Kennedy goaltender Ryan Murray. It was a challenge he would meet head-on. As the clock wound down, so did the hopes of Kennedy's opponent. After 3 exhausting periods, the war was over, and the celebration was on. The euphoria was carried into the Kennedy locker room, where the gladiators removed their armor. It had been a long day, but well worth the effort. As Eric Strand stated, the only thing in the world that mattered to his team was... The battle was over, but for these athletes, the memories would live forever.
It's a well-known fact that the team that wins the state tournament is frequently the team with the hottest goaltender. A few have been better throughout the season than Burnsville's Kevin Gorg. He won 19 games, lost only one, had a goals against average of 1.61. And now, instead of bringing you the usual footage of a goalie's job, our Steve Doyle and photographer John Koskinen have returned with the most exciting and terrifying view of what it's like to be a goalie.
Burnsville's Kevin Gorg on being a goalie.
There are ordinary people, and then there are goalies. I feel that way strongly. You've got your own world out there. You're by yourself. I just enjoy it a lot more, and there's a lot more pressure on you. I enjoy the pressure. I enjoy having it on my shoulders sometimes.
A confident, candid perspective of what is possibly a hockey team's toughest job from one of Minnesota's top-rated goaltenders. A view and a viewpoint we, the fans, don't often get.
This is the perspective of the goalie's job that most spectators have in the stands, but at this height and this distance, it's a rather detached view, and you don't have a feeling for the absolute speed of the puck.
To help bring the goalie's job into sharper focus, we've mounted a videotape camera behind a piece of plexiglass on top of the net for a view of what goalie Kevin Gorg faces day in, day out. It's like standing in front of a firing squad, and instead of trying to dodge 90-mile-per-hour bullets, doing everything possible to get your body in the way. But to get the ultimate perspective, we've mounted the camera and microphone on top of Kevin Gorg's helmet, so we can see what he sees, hear what he hears.
Good luck. I'll try.
As far as we know, if the camera survives, this could be a first. Now, if you think you have a hard time seeing that blur of black rubber, well, Kevin admits, so does he.
When you're sitting there, you can't always see. You can't always follow a puck that's going 100 miles an hour, to where you're going to stop it. I'd say more than half the time, it's more reflex than actually following the puck, to your glove.
Now throw in some moving bodies out in front to screen your view, and the goalie's picture is complete.
Now, when the rush is coming down towards me, first you have to find the puck, who's got the puck, and where your defensemen are situated so you can see the puck and you don't get screened. Once you've got that under control, you must also use your peripheral vision to find out where the people that he might pass to, or if he does shoot, where the rebounds don't want to go, for us to be an opposing player there. Heads up.
For Kevin Gorg, this is what life is like in the shooting gallery. Definitely not for the faint of heart, but a role he says he would never trade.
I love where I am right now. I never dreamed this would ever, happen to me when I was younger. I've never imagined it would be like this. I mean, this whole year has been really a dream.
In between next period, we'd put a microphone in, or a camera inside of the puck. Tiny camera. We'll get that view a bit later. This is Hockey 85, continuing coverage of the 1985 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
For the fourth year in a row.
New test results in?
Yes. For the fourth year in a row, in an independent test, over 1,000 people were asked which 19-inch TV had the best...
Score after one period, Hill Murray 2, Burnsville 2. I don't know about you, but I can hardly wait for the second period to start. Let's throw it upstairs.
Hope it's as interesting as the first shots on goal in the first period, 12-10 in favor of Hill Murray. And among the surprises was the fact that 4 goals were scored because the two teams came in to tonight's game with a tournament goals against average of 2. So they've already matched that tonight.
That's right, but they both have good goal-scoring capabilities, and you also know that each of those teams was going to be driving for the net and creating some opportunities. Big, strong people on both sides were enough to power in a couple of goals, and we have to expect that we're going to see more physical play throughout this game because each of those clubs very intense at this point. The enthusiasm in each squad continues to show with each shift. I think that Hill Murray did have a little edge in play. They outshot him 12-10. They are forechecking maybe a little quicker, a little better, a little smarter than Burnsville was at the opening. Then Burnsville started to react to it, but it's still a very even hockey game.
Lou, do you think the Braves were carrying the weight of being heavy favorites coming onto the ice?
No, I just think Hill Murray forced him into a lot of mistakes.
Okay, we're underway. Second period, and Burnsville immediately deflects it down into the Hill Murray zone. That's Dave Schwartz with it, and the Pioneers clear it out to center, and this is Mark Johnson over the line. There's a shot right on Kevin Gorg, and he holds on for a face-off. That was quite a feature, having the camera placed on the top of Kevin Gorg's helmet.
Well, as you can see, Kevin right there with his head down, just, you know, very intent on watching that puck at all times, knowing that the goaltender is the most important man on a hockey club, and he's got to make sure with each save that he gets the opportunity to make.
From the face-off, puck cleared to the line, but kept in by Schwartz. He clears it into the corner. That's Nick Garraby, number 9, after it. He was the hero of the first game, scoring the overtime winner against Hibbing. Mike Roth keeps it in at the point. He takes a shot, loose puck in front, shooting. Johnson really didn't get good wood on it, and Gorg will hold it for a face-off.
It looked for a moment like Burrell was going to get a break, and Mike Roth was able to keep that puck in. As he did, he fired that puck towards the net. With Burnsville defenseman moving up, Mark Johnson was all alone in front. Really couldn't get good wood. What he did get finally away. Kevin Gorg with a big save, and the rebound coming was cleared away very quickly by Mike Lutcraft. Otherwise, Hill Murray could have taken the lead. Fine save by Gorg, and a real good play by Mark Johnson.
Almost like he was looking down the fairway before he hit the golf ball. He just kind of looked up to see where he was shooting and didn't get good wood on it at all. And now here comes Burnsville in over the line. That's Mike Travelant into the corner. Puck is picked up by Scott Bloom. He tries to knock it free. They bang away at it as Burnsville now with a scoring opportunity. And finally, Trey Toomey takes over. But that Burnsville team doing a good job. Granato from the side out in front, and Horvath holds on in the goal crease as all of a sudden the Braves had a great scoring chance.
Well, Don Granato made an excellent move. He was coming out of the corner with the puck, and he noticed Bloom in front. And as the defenseman was moving towards Bloom, he just decided to cut in front and try and backhand it by Horvath. Horvath, very alert, stopped that puck and fell on it and got a whistle.
Granato, Ferreira, and Bloom, and the puck comes back to Bloom. The shot. That's a great save by Horvath with the left pad. And Lou, we're going to talk about this throughout the game, how important face-offs are, as Burnsville is called on the offside. Remember, back in 1983, the face-offs cost the Burnsville Braves.
They certainly did. You don't want to take any unnecessary face-offs in your own zone, because every time you lose one, that's an opportunity for the other team to score. Try and get that puck up ice. Try and get it out of your zone. Make sure that you're not giving the other team opportunities to put themselves in scoring position.
Mark Polska behind the net. He's being forechecked as the Braves now suddenly taking control in the early stages of the second period. This is Steve Ferreira over the line. Granato, and again it's called on the offside, and the Braves a little upset. I guess Bloom was in by just a step.
He certainly was. He just didn't get out of the zone in time. Granato stole that puck. Scott Bloom, nicknamed the Fiddler, as we see, was trying to get out of the zone. He didn't make it. Otherwise, they would have had a 2-on-1 situation again. And earlier, as we know, the 2-on-1 situation that line had was ended in a goal with a shot by Scott Bloom.
Now we've got Featherstone along with Branson and Travelant up front for Burnsville, while the Hill Murray Pioneers have Zelenak, Barichka, and Hurt. And here's a chance. Featherstone in front for Travelant, and he couldn't get control of the bouncing puck. In the corner, Mike Travelant loses it to Dave Barichka. Barichka up off the boards, and it comes out to center. Dale Hurt giving chase. He lost control. Barichka fires it in. We've got a delayed offside, but the Braves clear to center. Puck is bouncing high into the air, and that's Barichka who gloves it down, and play is whistled down. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School hockey.
Well, in the first period, we saw Hill Murray come out and put the initial pressure on Burnsville. This period, Burnsville doing it to Hill Murray.
Mark Johnson and Phil Zelenak have scored for the Pioneers. Herm Finnegan and Scott Bloom for Burnsville. And the Pioneers have had 2 leads, but both times the Braves have come back to tie as they tie it up in the corner and get a face-off to the right of Kevin Gorg.
Well, good forechecking by Zelenak was able to keep that puck in, and that's one thing that Hill Murray did effectively in the first period. They kept going to the boards and coming up with the puck. He anticipated a few plays, and as the Burnsville defensemen were throwing it around the board, they were there in position before the Burnsville wing, or sometimes they got in between the wing and the defenseman, stole that puck and created some opportunities. We look at Tom Osiki. telling this defenseman right now, make sure you're looking before you're passing that puck.
Here's a draw, and it was rung off the post by Mark Johnson. That time it was the Pioneers winning the face-off. Another
explosive period, especially because Mark Johnson is so alert with that puck coming down the ice. In the first minute of play, he spotted Grasky, made the long pass. Grasky was able to cut in and score, and coming down the ice right now, he looked like he was going to feed it over to Garrity. The moment he did that, Grasky would start breaking for the outside, and he fed it right across to Grasky, and he had another good opportunity to score a goal. Some fine playing by Johnson and Grasky there, giving Hill Murray the attempt to go ahead. But this game still remains tied, 3-3 with 10:35 to go in the third.
from the face-off, Rollick with a chance, and now his backhand is deflected in front. Boy, you could see the anticipation in Stripek's eyes. The coach of the Hill Murray Pioneers as his team comes close. A backhand wide off the stick of Rollick. Look at Toomey, number 15, do a good job before checking. Now it's around the boards, and Burnsville clears it out to the line, and they have a 2-on-1 break. Here they come. Granado, can he get it across? He put it through the goal crease. And now we've got a penalty upcoming against Hill Murray.
Well, we're going to have a tripping penalty on the call there in the 2-on-1. Mike Roth going off. Burnsville having a chance to go ahead.
With the score, Burnsville 3, Hill Murray 3. This is Hockey 85, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Time you heard about your loan, right?
Right.
Well, anytime.
Playing a man short, Burnsville on the power play, and Burnsville has got a man free on the faceoff if they win this draw on the right side.
Granado on the draw, but Barichka pulled it right back. Good play by number 14 of the Pioneers. And Hill Murray clears the zone. Exactly 10 minutes left in regulation time. And the Braves on the power play. They've scored once with the man advantage tonight as they pass off on the right wing for Bloom, and he can't get loose. And Ferreira will have to go back to get it. Ferreira was on this team last year. He's still a junior, 5'8", 155-pounder, and he clears it into the zone. Burnsville not really that quick in pursuing the puck that time, and Hill Murray clears it.
Well, Burnsville doing the same thing Hill Murray did. They're getting close to the blue line. Then when it looks like they got the possession of the zone, they're just shooting the puck in and allowing Hill Murray to throw it out. If one of these clubs start gaining possession of the zone, they're going to be a lot more dangerous on the power play because they can set it up and start moving around for a good shot.
Here's Schulze. He clears it around the boards to an open wing. Granado is there. Not a lot of movement right now on the power play. There's a shot from the point, deflected high over the glass. Bloom in the corner. He's battling away there, knocked down. Check that. That's Ferreira. Ferreira tries to knock it to the other side. They jam away at the side of the net. Horvath is down, and he's going to hold it for, or will he, as play is finally whistled down, and we get some tempers flaring on the ice.
Well, Bloom shoved defenseman Mark Folska right by the net as Folska was taking him out while Horvath was covering that puck. And Folska came right back after him. Big Mark Folska protecting his goaltender. And Dave Griffith, whose brothers we pointed out yesterday, Steve, who played for the Gophers and U.S. Olympic team, also being very formidable back around that net, taking the body every time someone looks like he's going to get positioned in front of that net.
A lot of the post-game commentary after Hill Murray beat Anoka centered around the very physical defense of the Pioneers, how they clear that area out in front of their own goal. People like Roth and Griffiths and Schwartz and Folska really do a good job, and right now the penalty killers for Hill Murray are doing a great job. Burnsville now just has 25 seconds with the man advantage, and they really haven't had a good opportunity. There you see the time left in regulation time anyway. We've got a 3-3 tie in the state championship game as Finnegan is in over the line. Finnegan drops it there for Ramswick. Burrell is parked in front of the net, but he won't get it because Griffiths is going to carry it out of the zone, and Griffiths fires it down ice. And that'll do it for the penalty. Roth standing up in the penalty box, and he's back on the ice. Hill Murray's back at full strength. Back comes Burnsville. Flipped inside the line by Luckcraft. Luckcraft doing some forechecking. Burrell has covered his point position. That's Burrell with the deflection of that Hill Murray pass. And here comes Burnsville back inside the line. Burrell tries to come into the middle. He was stopped up. And now the Pioneers take over. Folska looking for a teammate on the right wing. His pass fails to get through. And now there's a shot right on goal by Ramswick. Ramswick follows up. Rebound, shooting. And Horvath made the stop. at the top of the goal crease. Garrity was knocked down, and play is whistled down. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Unfortunately, they're forecasting low temperatures. Fortunately, People Express is forecasting low prices to 8 Florida cities.
We see a good opportunity right there by Burnsville. As the defense of Burnsville making sure that after that rebound was there, no one was going to stand around. 4 solid checks right in front of the net, and Burnsville knows that if they're going to get around goaltender Rick Horvath, they're going to pay the price.
Tempers starting to flare a bit. It's understandable considering the circumstances. 3-3, 7:26 left, but the officials have told both teams to cool it a bit. Let's play hockey.
Well, Chris, you got to say that's playing hockey, though. It's part of the game, and anytime someone comes around the goaltender and there's a loose puck, you know if your defenseman's going to do his job properly, he's got to move him out of there, and that's what the Hill Murray defense are doing.
Mark Johnson tried to move it inside the line. He was forced off the puck. Here comes Schwartz. He loses it to Featherstone, who in the one motion managed to get it over on the right wing to Branson, who is double-teamed along the boards and knocked down. Branson gets up, though, and he's fighting Roth for the puck there. Some good work by the winger Branson. There's 3 Pioneers there, and Branson still working for it. Finally, play whistle down.
At the same time that you credit the defense of Hill Murray for moving people out, you've got to give a great deal of credit to those fellas, the forwards on Burnsville, because they know if the puck's there, they're going for it. They might get hit, but they want that puck, and they're sure willing to take the checks to get the shots. And Rick Horvath has had to field a lot of shots through a great deal of traffic. You've got to give him credit for staying with that puck, keeping his concentration. That's what a goaltender has got to do when there's so much action happening around you.
6:53 left in regulation time, and this is almost a carbon copy of 1983. Burnsville hopes it isn't totally a carbon copy, and here comes a penalty against the Braves. And suddenly the Pioneers with a great chance.
Well, a tripping penalty against Burnsville coming up. And if the Pioneers want to get an opportunity to score, they've got to do one thing. With Scott Bloom going off for tripping, they've got the opportunity to get possession of that zone of Burnsville and move the puck around to get a shot, rather than continue to take it up, shoot it in, and allow that Burnsville Hockey Club to just shoot it right back down the ice. Someone's got to take control, get possession of that puck, come down the ice. The Burnsville team is falling back, allowing you to get the zone. So if they do that, they're going to get the opportunity to set up and get a good shot. You can see Scott Bloom in the penalty box right now with 6:45 to go. Bill Murray on the power play.
And on the draw, it was Quinlan pulling it back. As they set up this power play, Mark Johnson along with Quinlan and Toomey are up front. That is Rolick, who always drops back and plays a point position along with Griffith. But again, Hill Murray having some trouble setting up, and now they have possession of the puck in the zone. Johnson being double-teamed along the boards, and they hold it for a face-off.
Well, if you got no one to pass the puck to, you might as well get a face-off, and that's what Trey Toomey did right there. He had no one. He knew that the man was watching the point. Dave Griffith was being watched back there. Get the face-off. He's got the right side open. Burnsville hasn't got a man over on the side of Mark Johnson. That's where he wants to draw it.
From the face-off, Burnsville up with it, but a good play by Griffith to keep it in the zone. Now Johnson bangs away at it, comes back to Griffith at the point. Now into Johnson. Johnson trying to come out in front, and he was checked, and it is backhanded into the center ice zone. 1:20 left in the power play advantage. Johnson, cross-ice pass. This is Toomey working against Mark Osiki, who makes the stick check, and Osiki gets it outside the line. So in critical stages of the third period, both teams struggling a bit on the power play, but still time for Hill Murray. Here's Toomey's shot blocked in front. Now Toomey beats Rolick. Across to Griffith. There's the shot. Gorg kicked it out. And there was some activity behind Kevin Gorg in the goal crease, and play is whistled down.
We talk about the Hill Murray defense being strong and physical. Well, you should have seen Kevin Schrader right there. As the shot was being taken from the point, he just upended Hill Murray forward Quinlan cutting behind the goaltender Gorg, and he allowed Gorg to see the puck. A good play by the defenseman Schrader. Watch as the shot's coming from the blue line. Watch in front of the net. There goes Quinlan.
57 seconds left in the man advantage. As Johnson gets it back to Griffith, across to Rollick. And now Dave Griffith. Good right wing pass to Johnson. They move in over the line. Johnson now with the centering pass, which went right through to Gorg. There you see what's left in regulation time as there's a heavy collision along the far boards. Burnsville clears it to the line. Rollick keeps it in. Now Mark Johnson with possession. He drops it back, and Griffiths can't keep it in the zone. Hauled down a player. Penalty upcoming, but we've got a break for Ramswick. Ramswick is checked. Hill Murray touches the puck, and all of a sudden it'll be Burnsville who will get a man advantage opportunity. There's 24 seconds left in the Burnsville penalty. Then the Braves have the power play.
Dave Griffith had a drop pass come back to him, a blind drop pass, put him in a hole, and as he tried to keep it in, it was getting poked away from by Steve Ferreira. So he pulls Steve Ferreira down. Watch this, a drop pass going back to him, really handcuffs him. Ferreira's going to break away, and he spins him down, not wanting to have a 2-on-1. And so Dave Griffith now going off, nullifying the remainder of the penalty to Scott Bloom with 24 seconds to go. And then Hill Murray will have to kill off part of their penalty because Burnsville will have a man advantage at that time.
From the face-off, it is Dave Baricia who clears it down into the Burnsville zone. 4-on-4 hockey for a short period of time. 12 seconds left in the Bloom penalty. Burnsville slowly works their way out, now clears it down into the Hill Murray zone. And Bloom a little late to get out of the penalty box. It looked like he sat out a couple of extra seconds, but now the Braves are ready to go as they set up their man advantage. 1:25 remaining in the power play, and here they come. Burnsville with a lead pass, just too far. It rolls right in on goaltender Horvath. Roth clears it around the boards and out to center ice. Featherstone, Branson, and Travellant, the line up front, along with Treichel and Hammond. That's the power play unit. Let's see if they can get on track. Branson in over the line, and it's whistled down on the offside.
You would think, Chris, with these two hockey clubs, both real good teams with good puck handling ability in the center area, that with all the opportunities they've had in the power play, that they'd be more proficient, and they haven't thus far. So I'd have to say I wouldn't be surprised. It's about time that someone scored a goal in the power play, and that could be the difference in a game, is one more penalty or this penalty.
From the face-off, the puck goes high and back to the defensive Burnsville. This is Ferreira. Ferreira moves in, sets, fires Horvath with a poised pad save. Comes back to the point area. Ferreira clears it into Granato. Granato takes a look. Granato now trying to feed it over on that wing to Travellant. It doesn't come through. The puck at the point kept in by the Braves. Cleared around behind the net. Granato again. There's Scott Bloom, and he can't field the pass, and out comes Hurt. This is Dale Hurt moving inside the line. Shot, and he fired it over the crossbar. Barichka in for checking against Burnsville, but the Braves get it to center. Here comes Scott Bloom back inside the line. Fakes the shot, goes around Roth. Bloom around the net, tries to center, puts it out in front. There's the shot, and it's blocked, and now Dave Schwartz is starting back the other way. Schwartz takes a look, he's by himself, moves in, shot, and that deflects off Marco Seeker side of the goal. They're going end to end, and now the Burnsville power play is over with Griffiths back on the ice.
What a great block by Dave Schwartz. When that defenseman moved in, the goaltender was screened, and he not only made the save by blocking the puck, he came up and brought that puck down ice.
Granato was filled with under 3 minutes to go in regulation time. It's a 3-3 tie in the championship game, and it's been a great one. Here's Mark Johnson. Johnson moving in, has Zelenak out in front. Johnson taken to the boards, gets it back to the point. There's a shot by Griffiths, moving in, Grasky, and his shot was blocked. Grasky again in front, and Gorg directs that to the side. Close call, and now Burnsville has a chance as they come down the ice. Trying to slide it through for Luckcraft was Finnegan, but it was broken up. Now Finnegan hauls down his man, and it comes back down into the Burnsville zone for Schrader. Kevin Schrader up ahead to Ramswick. His pass intercepted, and it comes in offside. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota.
Each of these kids has got is being spent. They're working. They're getting chances end to end. They're taking people out. They're not ready to quit.
2 minutes, 5 seconds left in regulation time as Steve Rollick down in the corner fighting for possession, but Burnsville comes up with it. Puck cleared around the boards on this near side and into the center ice area. Mike Roth tries to clear the zone, but Ramswick keeps it in. In behind the net, here's a chance with Horvath almost trapped out of the net. And that was close. Granado, Ferreira buzzing around the net. Quinlan almost got loose there for Hill Murray, but Kurt Hammond fires it back in. And the Braves with 1:30 remaining in regulation time. In forechecking, here's defenseman Treichel pinching in. Treichel puts it out in front. Treichel follows the puck. There's a backhand wide of the goal off the stick of Mike Travelin. Now out at center comes Hill Murray. That fails to click, but Quinlan almost stole the puck. And in behind the net, Hammond tries to knock it around the boards. Rollick was there for Hill Murray. He puts it down into the corner. And Quinlan is tripped up, and we've got a face-off. 1:05 left in regulation time. Remember a face-off in 1983 late in the game.
That's right, Chris. Late in the game when Hill Murray got the opportunity to score a goal. Burnsville taking a face-off deep in their zone. Won the draw. Hill Murray getting that puck back. The shot, the goal. Hill Murray the champion. They've got the same opportunity here with number 8, Dale Hurt, shooting from the top of the circle. Should he be able to get that face-off from Phil Zelenak? So someone's going to have to get out there and Hurt because he's in a good position, 30 feet out right in front of the goaltender, and he can unload from there.
Here's the draw. Zelenak almost got it back. It was just cut off. There's a shot by Baruchka, deflected just wide. Under a minute to go in regulation time, and play whistle down. We'll have a face-off inside the Burnsville line.
Well, this period of action, both the first and second period were very physical, as we said. This one also has been, but this one also has been even more exciting. Hill Murray trailing at the end of 2, 3-2, come out, tied the game, and we've had end-to-end action. Good saves by both goaltenders and consistent pressure every time they get the opportunity to steal that puck around the net. They're all battling as hard as they can.
Marichka on the draw against Granado, and it is knocked down the ice by Burnsville. This could be icing. And now they wave it off. Apparently touched somebody along the way. Here's a loose puck. Schulze moves in. Shot blocked in front. Close call there and a good defensive play. Cleared down to the Burnsville blue line. That's Granado with it there. Passes on the right wing for Ferreira. His pass was knocked down. 30 seconds left in regulation time. Here's a break. Over the line. Shot scores! Oh my, what a goal! And Burnsville has the lead.
I think that was Scott Bloom who got that puck, steals that puck, and he cuts to his forehand. He's the fellow that can really shoot it. We've seen him score goals last night, tonight with that wrist shot. He steals it with 27 seconds to go, cuts to the middle, and unloads a blast that puts Burnsville in a very commanding position, 4-3. A very dangerous Scott Bloom. I'm certain it was him, number 15 on the right side, stealing that puck and getting that shot.
It's his second of the game, third of the tournament. Lou, you told me all about Scott Bloom even before these games started.
Well, there he was, getting the puck along the right side, cutting across to the top of the circle, and let's fly with that. He said he's going to be probably as highly rated a player as there is in the state next season. When it comes to the draft, he's not eligible this year, but watch him. He just makes a great play, cuts to the forehand. He's got some good shots. Real strong fellow with great quickness. And boy, when he unloads that puck, he's really dangerous. Scott Bloom, a junior wing, getting what right now is proving to be a very decisive goal with only 27 seconds to go. And a courageous Hill Murray team has got to win this draw, get the puck in Burnsville zone and get a face-off. As we look at Osiki, he's telling his players, one thing you want to do, don't cause a face-off in our zone if the puck comes in. Don't give the puck away. If it happens to come in our own zone, keep kicking along the boards, protect it with your body. Try not to draw a whistle. Don't allow them to get a face-off. Don't allow them to set up. Hill Murray on the other side wants to win the draw, put it in, get a face-off if he can, and he's going to, of course, alert the goaltender. Back is the moment the puck goes in the Burnsville zone, you come out. I wouldn't anticipate him even allowing the goalie to go right back in the net. I think he'd have him set up right on the top of the face-off circles close to the bench so that if the draw is won, he's only got a short skate to the bench to allow that sixth attacker to get on.
Well, at 83, the score was 4-3, but Hill Murray won that one. And now Burnsville has a 4-3 lead. You know, Lou, Herb Brooks is up with us, and he got the impression, and maybe we can look one more time at the goal, but it might have glanced off the defenseman, and it seemed to change direction. I don't think Horvath would have got it anyway. It was just a great shot.
It certainly was. Bloom cut into his forehand, uses that guy for a screen, and whenever he gets 30 feet out, we've seen him score so many goals this year. He is so dangerous because he shoots a wrist shot. He doesn't take much time to get it away, and he almost handcuffs the goaltender because he doesn't expect it.
27 seconds remaining in regulation time, and it's a 4-3 lead for Burnsville.
And John Wilson just reminded me, he says, who's going to get the winner tomorrow night? I said, Scott Bloom. But I didn't think it'd be this late, and I didn't think it'd be this close.
While we've got this opportunity, I'd like to thank John Bell Wilson and Dan Allen, who have helped us upstairs, along with Raleigh Secord. They've done a great job. Here's a look at what could be the tournament-winning goal.
Well, here you see Bloom taking that shot. He let fly. I don't think it was deflected. It went in too straight. It just went by the defenseman's leg. He uses that defenseman for a screen, but he can really unload him.
There's the man of the hour, number 15, Scott Bloom, junior winger. 17 goals during the regular season. That's the biggest one of his career. Puck off the boards, and they still have a goaltender in the Hill Murray net, as they haven't pulled him yet. They'd like to get a face-off down in the Burnsville zone, but that's a long way away yet. Trey Toomey's pass intercepted, just 10 seconds left. Burnsville's cleared it in, and that should be it. As the countdown has started, Rollick lead pass, that's broken up, and the Burnsville Braves are the 1985 Minnesota State champions. Well, the emotional explosion has happened here at the Civic Center. Now let's go down to the ice and join Tom Hanneman.
Very, very emotional scene on the ice, as should be expected. Tom Osiki, what are your feelings?
Oh, God, I've never been happier. It's got to be one of the most exciting moments of my life.
21 years of coaching. I'm sure you're anxious for it.
21 years, and I just, every minute, every second's been worth it.
It was in doubt until the final second.
Boy, it sure was. Hill Murray played a great game, just a great game. We got the lucky break, and we just feel fantastic.
Congratulations, Coach. Tony Parker standing by right now. Take it away, Tony.
Scott, can you tell us anything about that last goal at all?
I don't know. I just fired and it went in the upper corner, and it was just great.
3-3 till the last 30 seconds. You guys were favored. I guess they played your whale of a game to begin with, right?
Well, they're a good team, and we knew we had to play hard. They really checked us well, and I don't know, we just did it. We've been working for it all year.
All right, earlier in the game, the second period, it looked like you were getting on top of them, but then it got away from you.
I don't know, we had a slight letdown there for a while, but we seemed to get it back in the third period after they scored that goal.
You've got to feel like you got even today.
Yeah, we did from 2 years ago. This is great.
2 years ago, same score, the opposite way.
That's right.
Okay, I think Tom's standing by over there.
We are standing by. by with Kevin Gork. Obviously, quite a few things going through your mind right now.
I can't believe this team. When I let that third goal in, I thought, you know, I'm one of the worst people. I thought I wrecked it for the team. But it's the same thing all year. When one person follows up, there's always someone like Bloom, Burrell, or anyone to come back, put the goal in. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Every time, and we never quit. This team is incredible. I mean, I let in a pretty bad goal. There are a lot of teams that, you know, fall down and die. At least this team didn't do that. They came back, they peppered them, and they got the goal. This team is the best team ever.
Kevin, congratulations on an outstanding effort.
Thank you so much.
Tony standing by? No, we're going to go back up to the booth.
Well, we couldn't have asked more out of a state championship final, and we just had a tremendous one today. Scott Bloom with the game winner in the final minute of regulation time. Burnsville winning it 4-3 over Hill Murray. And I believe we're going down to ice level to... Now we're going back to Tony Parker.
The same numbers, 4-3. Same two teams. It was so close. You got to feel proud, bad but proud.
Well, I'm really proud. I didn't think the kids worked their butts off. That's all I can say. And they gave it everything they had. We have nothing to be ashamed of. A lot of people didn't even think we'd be here playing this game tonight. So I'm really proud, and I take great satisfaction in what the kids have accomplished this year. They accomplished a lot, and they worked really hard, Tony.
Terry, it looked like a cat and mouse game. There was a slow pace now and then, like you guys are just jockeying back and forth.
I think, yeah, both teams are trying to look for their chances, their opportunities. They want to get caught. You know, we knew Burnsville has very explosive forwards. We didn't want to get caught down their end very often, but at times we had chances too. Either team could have won the hockey game.
The coaches were showing great respect for each other.
Right, I think so. For both players, I think we really respected them. They respected us too. They knew that we were going to work hard. You know, they've got great finesse players, and we're kind of have to go after the puck and work hard and grind it out. And I'm really proud of my kids.
Terry, congratulations on a great tournament. Maybe we'll see you back next year.
Thanks, Tony.
You bet.
Thank you.
Now let's go over to Tom.
Well, Terry Skripek has every reason to be proud of his Hill Murray Pioneers. He's tasted victory, and now it's Burnsville's night. And let's go down to ice level and take in the awards presentations.
First, Pioneer goaltender Rick Horvath. Tony Schmaltzbauer, defenseman. Defenseman Dave Schwartz. Defenseman Dave Griffith. Defenseman Tom Schock. Defenseman Mark Fulska. Defenseman Mike Roth. Wing Dale Hurt. Wing Nick Garraby. Wing Mark Johnson. Wing Tom Grasky. Winger Sean Fabian. Center Dave Barichka. Center Trey Toomey. Center Tony Wright. Wing Tom Quinlan. Wing Todd Valento. Wing Steve Rollick. Wing Phil Zelenak. Goaltender Mike O'Hara. Student manager John Rather. And student manager Dave Thurston. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice hand to the coaches and players from Hill Murray for this outstanding title game. And now will the captains of the Pioneers please come forward to receive the second place trophy from Mr. Engelhardt. Hill Murray High School state runner-up 1985 hockey. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota State High School League is pleased to sponsor a sportsmanship trophy for the state hockey tournament. The schools of Minnesota have been actively involved in the promotion of good sportsmanship this past winter season, and the evaluation committee has selected Minnetonka High School as the recipient of the 1985 Hockey Sportsmanship Award. Receiving the award on behalf of Minnetonka, hockey co-captains Jim Walsh, Steve Schottler, and Jim Wilharm, and representing the cheerleaders from Minnetonka, Laura Anderson. Congratulations to Minnetonka High School, sportsmanship winner for this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been quite a day for Burnsville High School. They won the state boys swim championship earlier today, and the 1985 Minnesota State High School hockey champion is Burnsville. Each member of the official squad receives a gold medal, and the gold medals will now be presented to the Braves. Winger Lance Wernes. Defenseman Mike Luckraft. Defenseman Kevin Schrader. Center Herm Finnegan. Wing John Burrell. Wing Kelly Ramswick. Center and wing Kevin Featherstone. Wing Mike Travelin. Wing Mike Majou. Defenseman Kurt Hammond. And the Brave with the winning goal, wing Scott Bloom. Center and wing Matt Larson. Defenseman Steve Treichel. Center and wing Steve Ferreira. Center and wing Don Granato. Goaltender Kevin Gorg. Wing Scott Branson. Defenseman Scott Schultze. Defenseman Mark Osicki. Goaltender Greg Gelano. Student manager Steve Kish. Student manager Paul Lewis. How about a hand for these outstanding state champions, Burnsville coaches and players, 1985 hockey champions. And now would the captains of the Burnsville team come forward for your championship trophy.
Saves for Kevin Horn, 3, game total 18. Shots on goal for Hill Murray, 4, game total 21. Shots on goal for Burnsville, 7, game total 32. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being part of this record attendance at the 1985 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. We thank you and good evening from the Civic Center.
Went through all that last year. It's a special moment, and tonight the moment belongs to Burnsville.
Well, it certainly does, and it's a very worthy champion, that Burnsville hockey team. They've had a sensational season. They were ranked #1 basically all season. They just continued to get better, and they had to beat a very courageous Hill Murray Hockey Club. But we've seen an outstanding contest here tonight. I think Hill Murray pressed them as much as they could, but Burnsville, being the champ that they are, finally prevailed with just a few seconds to go in the game. And basically that's the story of the season for Burnsville. Never quitting, never being beaten, you know, never out of it. They continued to win right to the end. And Hill Murray, you know, what a courageous runner-up they were. They played exceptionally well.
Herb Brooks was pacing up and down here like the third coach involved in the game. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought in the playoff what Louis said, the courageousness of Hill Murray, it proves that in sport as in life, you know, the intangibles have to be measured. And I thought Hill Murray played very well because of those intangibles. And I also thought they might have been just as creative, if not as creative, as Burnsville. But Burnsville had, as Louis said at the outset, that depth and a lot of experience, and they came up with a timely goalkeeping. So I thought it was a fitting state championship final. I guess maybe the best team won, but Hill Murray has nothing to be ashamed of.
They certainly don't, and this tournament amazes me. I just was so impressed with last year's tournament, but I think it was even better this year.
It certainly was more balanced, and I think that when you look at it, you had a team that had to really beat a lot of good hockey clubs and under a great deal of pressure because they were expected to win. Last year there was no real clear-cut favorite. This year there was, and they proved to be the right clear-cut favorite because they ended up being the champ, and they had to beat some very fine hockey clubs.
Okay, let's go down to sports control.
All right, Chris Cuthbert, we thank you very much, and good luck to you, and it's been fun working with you, and same for Herb Brooks as well as Lou Nanny. Great job, guys, on the play-by-play in color.
Let me just say that these two guys work awfully well together, don't they?
Yes, they do. One final question for both of you.
4-3, Louis.
Yeah,
that's it, Louis. See how we think alike? 4-3, Burnsville. Great hockey.
Thanks so much. We knew that was coming. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
All right, and also our thanks to Paul Brown, our other play-by-play man. Tom, I don't know. It was an exciting tournament. I'm as physically exhausted, I think, as the players. Have you ever heard so many lost voices, or is so much yelling and screaming going on? Just a dramatic finish to a wonderful tournament.
Right, a fitting end, really, to a tournament that was filled with all sorts of overtime games, surprises, and it had to be decided in the last minute, and of course it was.
Tom Osiecki's Burnsville Braves. I'll tell you, Hill Murray in '83, when they came through it, they had the pressure of being unbeaten. They had just as much pressure on that Burnsville Braves team, and hats off to them. And it's just too bad there has to, again, be a loser in this. I know it's cliche and it's trite, but it's too bad there has to be a loser. Maybe tomorrow, it might be a week, might be a month, but Hill Murray will wake up and say, hey, we did an excellent job getting to the finals and taking second place.
Hill Murray, a lot younger team, really, than Burnsville. They're going to have most of those people back next year.
Yeah, we're going to be back with a wrap-up in just a minute. This is Hockey 85, the night back at the St. Paul Civic Center, where the Burnsville Braves have just won the state championship with a 4-3, an exciting win in the last few seconds, the win over the Hill Murray Pioneers. Burnsville came in, as we said, heavily favored in this game, but it didn't start out that way. The Hill Murray Pioneers got on the board first. It was number 10, Mark Johnson, and it didn't take long. 26 seconds into the game, his first goal of the tournament. It was on a rebound. A man in the crease there was pushed there, but that did not nullify the goal. Mark Johnson got it, and it was 1-0 for the Pioneers.
Burnsville came back on a goal from Herm Finnegan, an outstanding solo job here. He maneuvers his way through the Pioneer defense and then fires the puck past Rick Horvat.
And let's go to the go-ahead goal here. 2-1 for Hill Murray. The Pioneers go back on top as number 20, Phil Zelenik. Gets that one away, and it's 2-1 Hill Murray. That was at 13-13 of the first period.
47 seconds left in the first period. It is tied on a Scott Bloom goal. He just beat Horvath high.
Second period, one goal here. Burnsville on the power play. It came at 3:21. Number 6, Mike Luckraft, scores on his own rebound. Skating in here, there's the backhand, and that's the goal unassisted. 3-2 Burnsville at that point.
But 32 seconds into the third and final period, Tom Grasky of Hill Murray swoops in on the Burnsville net and pinpoints his shot to the far side, tying things at 3.
All right, it's tied at 3, less than 30 seconds to play. And when the winner is scored, 27 seconds to be exact, 27 seconds left. Number 15, Scott Bloom, the junior wing, swooping in there, and the fine wrist shot, and Mr. Horvath can't come up with it. Shows his disappointment. That was the second goal of the game for Scott Bloom, his third of the tournament. It came at 14:33, and the Hill Murray Pioneers can't pull off another upset like they have been doing.
But they put together just an outstanding game, obviously, and really a much better game than I think most people expected tonight.
No question about it. So let's take a look now at what transpired here at the Civic Center today. Consolation play, that was at noon today. Hibbing and Minnetonka.
Third place game, Anoka beat Jefferson 6-1.
I don't know if I mentioned Hibbing, the 5-4 winner there over Minnetonka.
And, of course, in the championship tonight, a game just concluded. Burnsville with an exciting 4-3 win for their first ever State High School Hockey Championship.
So over 103,000 fans packed the St. Paul Civic Center the past 3 days. A new state tournament record that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And
better.
We certainly hope we're back again next year to do this tournament. It's been fun, Tom. Thank you very much.
I've enjoyed it.
And for our entire staff, our entire crew here, thank you very much. And so long, everybody.
Hockey 85 has been brought to you by Twin City Federal. Twin City Federal is smart banking. The Chrysler Corporation, your Viking Land Dodge dealers and local Chrysler Plymouth dealers who say, thank you, America. Snapper. Buy a Snapper from Cherokee Hardware and get Snapper's 2-year limited warranty. Northwestern Bell Telephone Company. Royal Crown Beverages for great taste and cola lovin' fun.